Today's Reel to Reel is brought to you in part by Holy Family Passionist Retreat Center in West Hartford, Connecticut. Join us for a day, evening, or weekend retreat from now through June to nourish your spirit and renew your faith. For more information on men's and women's retreats, visit our website, holyfamilyretreat.org.
Coming up on this edition of Reel to Reel.
I'm Nick Morganelli. Join me for part 2 of the deep dive into the diaconate as we venture into a classroom, talk to a student, and learn more about the education it takes to become a deacon.
The pro-life medical clinic Clearway is celebrating a very special birthday. I'm Carolee McGrath. I'll have the story coming up.
I'm Steve Kiltonick and Lee, where I'll tell you how the Coding Crusaders of St. Mary's School fared in the recent Berkshire's robotics competition.
These stories and more are just ahead on Reel to Reel. Hello and welcome to Reel to Reel. This past week, Bishop William Byrne announced the appointment of Father Christopher Malatesta as the new Vicar General of the Diocese of Springfield. He will replace Father Peter Salik, who has served in that position since 2021.
What's that? Gloucester.
Father Malatesta served for the last 23 years as pastor of the Catholic communities of Dalton and Hinsdale, which include St. Agnes Parish in Dalton, St. Agnes Academy in Dalton, and St. Patrick's Chapel in Hinsdale.
First of all, I'm honored that Bishop selected me for this role, kind of humbled by that. I hope that I can live up to the expectations of, what Bishop's trusting me with. But I come with a pastor's heart, and I think that I have a lot of experience working in parishes and things, and I bring that to the diocese, and remembering that we're all of service to one another.
Father Malatesta earned a business degree from Fitchburg State and has served on the Presbyteral Council, Clergy Commission, and College of Consultors. He has been very involved with the school and youth ministry through the years.
It's important work that I'm going to be involved in, but it's going to be hard to leave as well. I'm, very engaged in our school, and have a large parish that's really very active. It's really going to be hard to leave, but as I described to the people of the diocese, we're, as ordained priests, have to answer the call.
Father Malatesta visited his new parish, St. Patrick's in Springfield, this week.
He's going to do a magnificent job because he loves the diocese, he loves the priests, and most importantly, he loves the people of God, whom he has served so faithfully in all his years as a priest.
Father Malatesta will assume his new role July 1st. He will continue the oversight of Camp Holy Cross in Goshen. And Bishop Byrne expressed his gratitude to Father Salik, who also is pastor of Immaculate Conception Parish in Indian Orchard. Today we continue our series on the diaconate of the Diocese of Springfield, an ordained ministry where men are called to serve. The journey to become a permanent deacon requires 5 years of education. In part 2 of his series, Nick Morganelli takes us into the classroom with some first-year students.
From part 1 of this series, let's review who is eligible to become a deacon. Baptized and confirmed Roman Catholic, active in parish life and attending Mass regularly, 30 to 60 years old, a high school graduate, and single or married but the wife in agreement with the program. In addition, one must be willing to attend classes and retreats on evenings and weekends for the 5-year program. Deacon Picard sheds light on the educational component.
So show me what you got for the program.
Well, come right in.
All right.
But we don't have a college requirement, although they'll be taking college courses to better understand theology and better understand how we operate as a diaconate.
In part 1, we also introduced you to Rob Stevenson, parishioner of Our Lady of the Blessed Sacrament in Westfield, who is new to the program. This class of 12 began their educational journey in September and represent the class of 2029.
We started in the fall online. We did a class on Intro to Catholicism. We did a class on the call and the mission of the deacon. We just finished a class on social justice with Deacon Bill Toller. We're doing a class currently right now on project management.
Along with clergy and those who take vows to religious orders, Jane Virgilio is one of the many lay people who are course instructors.
So we started out with 5 weeks of Catholic social teaching, understanding how we need to help people in need, through videos, through readings, through immersion, all toward helping them understand that there's the opportunity to form their hearts about their work as a deacon as they go forward.
One of the assignments is to create a service project. Rob Stevenson is evaluating how to integrate confirmation candidates with seniors in skilled nursing facilities that don't receive many visitors.
Getting approval of the local group here on the church side to make sure that they were in agreement and were okay with my suggested project. Is that a milestone? The next milestone is I've got to get the approval from the local nursing homes.
Having a project tool set to help them to take ideas they have about what they want to implement and how they can organize themselves to do that through the tools that I am walking them through.
And just recently, the class began homiletics to learn the art of writing a homily and preaching.
It's been exciting, so 4 years to go, and I'm really looking forward to the opportunity.
Deacon Angel Diaz will have his 10th anniversary of ordination this June, and he has encouragement for the men out there.
Take a look. See if that call is right for you. And I guarantee you that if it's for you, you won't stop smiling the rest of your life. It's a vocation, which means that when you act upon it, a ministry, you're not only enriching the people you serve, but also enriching yourself.
And Deacon Picard is inviting you to consider serving as well.
We have put together a timeline where we're going to be out recruiting. This is one of the steps that we're taking.
And here is the schedule his office recently released.
Let those men know who are interested and who might be capable of serving the Diocese of Springfield and God at a different level than they are now.
You can help get the word out so men can learn more about the diaconate program. Save a date to visit an informational meeting this summer at parishes in Springfield, Amherst, Greenfield, or Pittsfield. With part 2 of our deep dive into the diaconate, for Real to Real, I'm Nick Morganelli.
And for more information, call the Office of the Diaconate at 413-452-0674 or email diaconate@diospringfield.org. And still to come on Real to Real, Carolee McGrath will tell us all about a celebration marking a milestone for Clearway Clinic. And Steve Kiltonic will have the story of the Robotics Coding Crusaders team from St. Mary's in Lee. It's all ahead on this edition of Real to Real.
Today's Real to Real is brought to you in part by Holy Family Passionist Retreat Center in West Hartford, Connecticut. Join us for a day, evening, or weekend retreat from now through June to nourish your spirit and renew your faith. For more information on men's and women's retreats, visit our website, holyfamilyretreat.org.
Like Catholic TV on Facebook. Once you're there, you can join in on discussions, make friends with other Catholic TV fans, watch behind-the-scenes videos from the studio,
just finished this today,
and stay up to date with the Catholic world. All this at facebook.com/CatholicTV.
You and I will never be the same.
Mark your calendars for an evening of prayer and uplifting music
With our God.
as St. Michael's Cathedral Springfield welcomes the award-winning and inspirational singer-songwriter Tony Melendez. Originally from Nicaragua, Melendez was born without arms. He learned to play the guitar with his feet, and on September 15, 1987, Melendez sang for Pope John Paul II. Melendez gives motivational talks and has written a book. He campaigns actively for the pro-life causes. Melendez will hold back-to-back concerts and holy hours May 6th in English and May 7th in Spanish, both at 7 p.m. in the cathedral. Seating is on a first-come, first-served basis.
Our gift is music and a performer that says, "When I sing, I hear the Lord."
In 3 weeks, Blessed Carlo Acutis will be canonized, the first millennial saint. This Italian young man developed a deep and abiding love for the Eucharist and Eucharistic miracles before dying at the young age of 15 from cancer. I'm joined now by Joe Austin, the Director of Missionary Discipleship. Hi, Joe.
Hey, Sharon. Thanks for having me.
Well, this is an exciting time for those who have a devotion to the soon-to-be St. Carlo Acutis. What makes him so appealing?
Definitely. So Carlo Acutis is really a saint for our time. He was born in May of 1991, and this May he'll be 34. So how often do we get the opportunity to experience the life of a 34-year-old saint when I'm actually 34 myself? So he's actually my age as a saint.
Yes, and just in time for his canonization, a documentary is being released in theaters worldwide, including a limited showing at Cinemark. And your office is organizing a special Mass and movie night on April 28th. Can you tell us about that?
This event is really all about getting to know Carlo Acutis and who he was as a saint for our time, the first millennial to be canonized a saint. So on April 28th at 6 p.m., we'll be joining Bishop Byrne for a Mass in the Dominican Monastery in West Springfield. Shortly after, we'll be making our way over to the theater for the 7 o'clock screening of the documentary on his life. I really hope that everyone will be able to make it.
Right, and it's also important that folks purchase their tickets soon online.
Yes, very important. Yeah, just to purchase them at Cinemark.com.
All right, thanks so much, Joe Austin. And now here are some other events taking place in Western Massachusetts. Tomorrow, April 6th, St. Agnes Academy in Dalton will hold an informal gathering for those interested in a Catholic education. The meet and greet will be held at Sacred Heart Parish Hall in Pittsfield following the 9:30 a.m. Mass. Also in Pittsfield, Springfield Bishop William Byrne will offer a reflection on the Jubilee of Hope, a synodal journey, tomorrow, April 6th, beginning at 2 p.m. at Sacred Heart Church, 191 Elm Street. The talk will be followed by reconciliation offered by area priests at 3 p.m. A free screening of Sound of Hope, the story of Possum Trot, will be held on Thursday, April 10th from 6 to 8:30 p.m. in the Bishop Marshall Center behind St. Michael's Cathedral in Springfield. The film is a true story of how one couple, the Martins, brought 77 kids out of foster care into loving adopted homes. A light meal will be served from 6 to 6:30, followed by the film. To reserve your spot, email judycross3@gmail.com. Then on Sunday, April 13th, a Palm Sunday Hour of Reflection will be held at St. Mary's Church, 519 Longmeadow Street in Longmeadow from 3 to 4 p.m. All are invited to listen to Bach's Goldberg Variations with reflections from Bishop Byrne, Father C.J. Waitikis, and Father Stanislaus Achu. This event is free and open to the public. You can find more events on our calendar page at diospringfield.org. And if you have an event to submit for our calendar, please send it to calendar@diospringfield.org or by mail to Calendar, care of Catholic Communications, Box 1730, Springfield, Massachusetts 01102.
I'm Kathy Harrington, and next week on Reel to Reel, I'll introduce you to Raed McCooley, who shares his experience as a Catholic living in the land where it all happened.
You are watching Reel to Reel, your window on the world around you. Here again is your Reel to Reel host, Sharon Roulier.
Clearway Clinic, a licensed pro-life medical clinic with locations in Worcester and Springfield, is marking 25 years of helping women facing unplanned pregnancies. The Worcester Clinic opened in 2000 and the Springfield Clinic opened in 2018 on East Columbus Avenue. Carolee McGrath tells us more.
Melissa Otero holds her whole world in her arms. Melissa, a former client of Clearway Clinic in Springfield, is the proud mother of 2-year-old Ramaya. The two of them attended the 25th anniversary banquet, March 26th, at the Log Cabin in Holyoke. Melissa, who has been vocal about her story, took the first dose of the chemical abortion pill when she was pregnant with Ramaya, but quickly changed her mind. Clearway doctors prescribed her the abortion pill reversal.
I feel like it was definitely a godsend. I didn't think to even search it up until I got home after taking the abortion pill. I thought it was a gimmick when I saw a hotline on Google, and it turned out to really be true and a miracle for me because it actually did work.
Clearway Clinic is a licensed pro-life medical clinic with locations in Worcester and Springfield. The clinics are overseen by 4 doctors and staffed by nurses. Clearway clinics offer free ultrasounds to women facing a crisis pregnancy. They also offer and have had success with the abortion reversal pill. In addition, Clearway has a post-abortive ministry. Kelly Wilcox, the former director, flew in from Florida to celebrate the occasion. Jill Jorgensen is the current director. 25 years. How does this feel?
Oh my gosh, God's faithfulness. You know, the last few days, just remembering just the stories over 25 years, because, you know, we're basically the evidence for the Bible when it says the Lord uses fools to confound the wise. And so we've just had such a great time telling the stories about God's faithfulness.
It's such a gift. She handed me the baton 3 years ago, and so Kelly had carried that mantle for 12 years for Clearway, and so it is just such a gift to have her back and sharing the memories. We've talked about our past, we're talking about what's going on at Clearway today and our future, waiting to see as God unfolds that for us.
Clearway also offers post-abortive support with an 11-week Bible-based program and through the Forgiven and Set Free retreat. Mary Walsh, who has lived with the trauma of 2 abortions for 40 years, shared her story. She attended the healing retreat.
I was able to forgive those who were part of, you know, took part in it, the doctors, the clinic that I went to, my mother who supported it, the father, like everybody that was involved, I was able to find forgiveness toward them. God heals. His desire is that we be made whole and we understand that there is no sin too great.
Over the last 25 years, Clearway has welcomed more than 2,600 babies into the world. Again, 2,600 babies, and they are entirely funded by the people of God. Protestant churches from the Worcester and Springfield area support Clearway and have done so for years. Clearway also receives support from the Diocese of Springfield through the annual Catholic Appeal. Bishop Byrne opened the evening with prayer.
Clearway is all about birthdays, making sure they happen. And so to come here to celebrate their birthday here in the diocese is a wonderful occasion. This is exactly the ministry that we as a diocese have committed to, and to partner with them is to walk with moms. It's not just about making sure that we get to delivery room, it's making sure we get them on and supported as they raise the child.
And here's to another 25 years and many more birthdays. To learn more, go to clearwayclinic.com. Reporting for Reel to Reel, I'm Carolee McGrath.
This year's annual Berkshire Robotics Competition challenged more than 24 schools from across Berkshire County. St. Mary's School in Lee was one of the participants in the competition held at Wahconah Regional High School. Their team, nicknamed the Coding Crusaders, made it all the way to the championship round. Steve Kiltonick has the story.
The Berkshire Robotics Challenge has been recognizing students for their science, math, and technology skills for the past 24 years. Sponsored by the Berkshire Innovation Center, this year's competition featured a field of 27 teams and over 200 students from across Berkshire County. St. Mary's School in Lee sent a team of 8 students plus 3 coaches to Wahconah Regional High School on March 15th for the exciting competition. The Coding Crusaders, as they called themselves, included students from grades 6 to 8, with 4 of the 8th graders having participated in previous challenges. Christine Berry, the middle school math teacher and one of the coaches, along with Wendy Stebbins, the computer teacher, explained how students qualify for the team.
They have to apply and they have to get teacher recommendations because we usually have a lot of interest in it. So we want to be sure who's serious about it.
The Coding Crusaders started to practice for the challenge 6 months ago, meeting in a robotics lab in the school's basement for an hour each week to design and build their robot. This year's 2025 theme, Submerged, put a spotlight on the ocean and its complex ecosystems. The team first purchased a kit with a submerged map along with all the Lego pieces to construct the robot. The students then programmed or coded 10 missions, which are the various instructions for the robot to carry out the various tasks.
They go online, they take their package of bricks, and they follow step-by-step instructions in order to build each one of the missions.
The students designed the robot from scratch, but first researched each mission to determine how many points could be scored if successful.
Then we start kind of strategizing, like which ones do we think we can do, which ones can we definitely do, which ones we're not going to try to bother with because they may be too difficult and our robot, maybe we don't have the right design of our robot to accomplish that mission.
In the months leading up to the challenge, the students, working in pairs, started to put all the pieces together for the final robot design and plan.
They code on the Chromebook, they tell the robot to go forward, to turn, to lift its arm, to do whatever the mission calls for, and then they test it out.
Principal and coach Kara Majorano Culver participated in the Berkshire's challenge when she was in the middle school and Stebbins was her coach. Majorano Culver established St. Mary's first robotics team when she was the middle school science teacher.
St. Mary's has participated in the Robotics Challenge for a number of years now, going back to 2017. And although they have won in other categories, they have never taken home the top prize, the challenge.
One of our first years we got Comeback Kids, which is the biggest score differential from one round to another. Last year we actually won Best Programming, which to us was a really great award because it showed that the judges saw that we put a lot of effort into our programming and coding. We've come in second place twice.
Heading into the challenge, the coaches felt this team had a good chance to finish high up in the competition, maybe even win it all.
We had a great 6 months with them. They coded well, they practiced well, they problem solved together, and it was just, there was a calm focus, and that's what impressed us.
This was Jasmine's and Gus's third challenge. They were the most experienced members on the team.
When we found the right PDF to build our bot, we just started building off of it and helping each other figure out what props to use.
Yeah, and then the arm on the front of the bot we added that separate from the design we found because it best fit the missions that we were doing.
After we got the missions together, we put them in order. We had to memorize them in our heads and stuff, and then we just kept running them. So.
But even after having all of them on the bot and practicing them, half of them still didn't work.
True.
In the first 3 rounds, all the teams were trying to score the most overall points, with the goal to qualify for the Grade 8 playoff when teams then went head-to-head. With parents, coaches, and competitors in a confined area, the atmosphere was chaotic.
It was nerve-wracking. I felt very nervous that my family was watching to see if we'd make it to the Final 4 or Grade 8.
I think it was good to have everybody cheering you on. It really motivated you, and it was really exciting to see everybody's parents that you knew and like a lot of people from the school there.
You've got people screaming at a volume you don't even see at a championship basketball game around here. It's intense.
We provide feedback, but we just really watch them work together, and it's been incredible to watch them problem solve and strategize together and just realize that when something's not working, you don't have to give up on it. You can modify it.
The Coding Crusaders did well enough in the first 3 rounds to make it to the Grade 8 playoff, seeded 4th.
Even if you're number 1 or number 2 or number 3 or number 4, it doesn't matter. That comes down to that single run and how the kids perform and what happens, and you just never know.
In the semifinals, St. Mary's beat the top team by 10 points and made it to the final against another team from Lee, the Robo Wildcats.
Now 2 minutes left in this epic battle between 2 great teams.
We were, high-fiving and, wishing them good luck, and they were wishing us good luck. So it was definitely a lot of team building and spirit building, as well as the competition of it all.
In the all-Lee final, the Coding Crusaders saved the best for last.
Our champion of the 2025 Berkshire Robotics Challenge with the high score of the day, 235. Please give it up for St. Mary's SMS Coding Crusaders.
For the first time in school history, St. Mary's took home the Challenge Champion Trophy.
And this was like our last year, so it was to have made the playoffs every year and then to like win it this year I thought that was really good.
I was just glad to finally win with something that I could be proud of once I leave.
It felt amazing. I've been at this school for 10 years, and it's really exciting to see my friends and all of us winning.
We just cannot keep saying how proud of the kids we are and what a great team, the way they came together.
It was, they just worked so well together, and the camaraderie was really great.
To see them put so much into something and then achieve such a great outcome, to watch them blossom in the whole process is amazing.
The victory put St. Mary's on the front page of the Berkshire Eagle.
It's so great. And the kids are so proud. It's been very cool to see other students congratulate them. We are a small school. We have small enrollment, but we do a lot and we work hard and we have amazing teachers and amazing students. And just because you don't hear about us that often, we're still here and we have a lot to offer.
Congratulations to the 2025 Coding Crusaders, who have left a lasting impression on everyone at St. Mary's, the teachers, principal, students, pastor, and the entire parish community. For Real to Real, I'm Steve Kiltonick.
Although 4 experienced 8th graders will graduate, 4 students will return to guide some newcomers from the 6th and 7th grades in defending their title next year. And finally tonight, a big congratulations goes out to Ryan Leonard, a former Pope Francis Prep hockey star who just signed with the Washington Capitals. Ryan, who just wrapped up his sophomore season at Boston College, made his debut Tuesday night at the Garden as the Washington Capitals took on the Bruins, and won, by the way, the Capitals edging the Bruins 4-3. Former teammates and just about all of Western Mass went to the game to cheer him on. Best of luck, Ryan. And for this week, that's Real to Real. Be sure to follow the latest news of the Catholic Church, both here in Western Massachusetts and around the world, on our news and information site, iobserve.org. There you will find articles prepared by our Catholic Communications reporting team and our partners at Our Sunday Visitor. That's iobserve.org, and we are also on Facebook, so you can follow us there at Catholic Communications. I will see you at this same time next week for another edition of Real to Real, your window on the world around you.
Real to Real is a production of the Catholic Communications Corporation, funded in part by the annual Catholic Appeal, and the support of you, our faithful viewers.